Well, hello again and welcome to a very special shortened bonus edition of the Hyperion Adventures podcast. I'm Tom. As always, I'm with my wonderful, intelligent, gorgeous, very hardworking Destination D23 loving wife and co-host Michelle.
Ooh, yeah. Thank you, honey. And hi, everybody.
So good to have you with us. We are recording this episode, and I need to look at my watch because I don't remember it. Yes, it is September 9th of 2023, and we just literally, 20 minutes ago, walked out of day one of Destination D23.
Yeah, wow, what a fun day. And never having been to one of the Destination D23, it had a lot of fun, unexpected surprises.
Yeah, it was quite an event today, let me tell you. We have not been to a Destination D23 before, so we didn't know exactly what to expect. But I think that we are already blown away by what was happened to this point.
Right, between the information that was given. And again, we weren't expecting a lot of big announcements because that's more what is done at expos. But they did share some new information for us today, and generous in terms of swag that they give out throughout this.
My gosh, the swag we've already received to this point is incredible. I'm going to tell you right now, if you have considered doing a Destination D23, probably the next one will most likely be in 2025. Do it, because one, it's a really fun event, but also like we've already rocked away with so much stuff. It's amazing, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. Now, before we get into all this, I'm just going to, like as I mentioned already, this is not a normal Hyperion Adventures podcast. This is a bonus special edition. We won't be doing Disney Stories of the Week. Well, we kind of will be, but not really. We won't have tips for you this time. These are going to be special. We plan on doing one today and then one tomorrow, kind of recapping what we've gone through during the days here. Right, Michelle?
Right, exactly. Just to kind of give you an update of what you are, what some of you may be actually watching on streaming with the with the D23, or excuse me, Destination D23. But yeah, just give you a little our experiences from this whole event.
Right, for sure. So this will be a little quick. Also, if the sound is a little different, I'm hoping this come through okay here. But we are recording on very basic equipment here that we brought with us. So just know that if the sound's a little different, please just take it as a one-off, or a two-off, since it'll be probably two episodes of this.
Right. But it's not. We'll be back with our regular equipment.
Right. Exactly. So we arrived yesterday. Go in and check out the different pop-up shops that they had here. They had Mickey's of Glendale, the what was it? The Ink and Paint, and the Walt Disney Studios shops. And we went in there and checked those out, and we did buy a few things. We found some things we really liked.
Right. Yeah. And they were giving some discounts for some of the things. I think a lot of things we were able to get discounts, not on everything. You could also purchase some books for book signings that the authors were going to be at throughout the weekend. So that was available as well. And it was just nice to try to get a jump on seeing what they had, having time to mull it over, even so that today and tomorrow, if there were any last minute decisions to go on and buy some things, that we could get those handled as well. And
when you bought the book, if you wanted it, you could get a wristband, which allowed you to return to when the author was there signing autographs. And you did get one signed today.
So we actually purchased two books, and one was for author was today, then the other one is for tomorrow. And I was actually able to meet Marcy Smothers, who just put out a couple new books, but we first were introduced to her with a book that Scott really enjoys, which was Eat Like Walt. And then she had some other newer books that were for sale.
She has Walt's Disneyland, right? That's her newer book.
And she also had one kind of to commemorate the 100th anniversary, or Disney's company 100, and she talked about 100 adventures that she has done. And we're also really excited to say she will be coming on in a future episode.
She's agreed to come on the show, so we have no set date for that yet, but that's exciting.
Preliminary talks.
That's exciting.
Yes.
Another thing that happened on day one, now we've already talked about the swag, and believe me, it started big time right on day one. Now, when you get in, you check in, you go into another room where they have what there is, you get your gift, his gift bag.
Your swag bag.
Right. And we thought, okay, we're going to get a little shopping bag with some coupons or whatever. And we walk in this room and they scanned our badges. And they pointed over to this table, and there, on this table, were brand new lug really, really nice lug backpacks.
Well made, yes.
Yes. So we each got one of those, and it was stuffed with things. I mean, yes, there were a lot of like coupons and things for some of the sponsors, which you would expect.
Sure.
But there were also things like we got a Magic Band Plus, a Disney Cruise Line Magic Band Plus. We got something we were able to exchange for an orange bird pin. Right. There were some other things, some other fun stuff in there.
Yeah, we got a game. We got a hat from Chase Visa, and a lot of great, wonderful things.
So, I mean, that was pretty much it. We did some shopping, we got some swag, and then we came back and relaxed for the evening because we knew today was going to be a big day. Starting right off with the first panel of the morning, which was the parks panel. We'll get to that in a bit because I think a lot of what we're going to talk about here is going to involve that. Right. There was a lot going on. Some of the other panels that we saw today we saw 25 years of Disney Cruise Line. They kind of talked about the styles of that. They talked about Epcot, a lot of what's going to be the future of what's to come at Epcot. We just left that one a little bit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Some cool stuff on Nat Geo and their program that was on Disney Plus all about whales.
Yeah, that was crazy interesting.
Yeah, it was really fascinating stuff. And then one of my favorite panels kind of wrapped up the morning session today, which was the characters, voices from Disney. And they had a lot of them, including, of course, Brett Ewan, who plays Mickey Mouse, Ashley Eckstein, who, of course, for many, many years played Ahsoka Tano, was the MC, essentially, of this. Bill Farmer, who, of course, is Goofy and Pluto. Also, we were blessed with Jodie Benson showing up and talking with us. And there was some others as well, but they all got up and they did this really wonderful sketch where they kind of went through all these classic Walt Disney World attractions and kind of gave spiels in a lot of different character voices, and it was just a lot of fun.
Right, exactly. And it was just, again, they streamed it, so some of you may have seen that, or if you haven't, you hopefully can get back and see that. But it was really so exciting to see them use that creative talent that they have to bring to life again some of these, as Tom said, these attractions that no longer exist. And I know the biggie that people just went wild over was when they did the Great Movie Ride.
Yes, people were loving that part of it.
Lost their minds.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. A lot of them, for a lot of different portions, they lost their minds, but it was a good time for sure. The other thing that we learned about when the next D23 Expo is going to be happening. We had a little talk about many of the things that are coming, or have happened, and what is coming for D23. And included is the D23 Expo, which will be next year in 2024. It will be back in Anaheim. I believe it's August 9th through the 11th, please. I think that's right. And it will be at the Anaheim Convention Center. But it sounds like it's going to be extended. I mean, those are the official dates of the expo, but it's going to be extended almost like a week-long event where there's going to be lots of things going on, including like a D23 day at Disneyland. There was something else. What was the other thing?
I know that they're expanding it in the locations, that they're going beyond just the convention center. It will be, obviously including the convention center, but, to me, it reminded me of like what San Diego has done with Comic-Con and how they've included some other venues to have some of the panels or some of the parts of the events going on. So Disneyland is going to be one of the actual locations.
Yes. Well, what they also said is that they're going to have their normal panels and their floor space and everything during the day. But it sounds like their biggest panels, the ones that were always the toughest to get into, they're going to shuffle those over what it seemed like at night to the Honda Center. So we're talking like a big time arena, like a hockey NBA arena, so that everybody, or at least most everybody, can actually go and see those big panels.
Right.
We're talking about the Disney Studios, the animation, the live action panels, the parks panel, all the biggies that everybody really wants to get into, but you can't always, or you have to wait overnight or whatever. Looks like they're going to try and make that available to everybody, so that's going to be a huge event, and we were very excited about all that.
Yeah, and like Tom said, they're adding some other festivities throughout the week. They're going to have a special game, baseball game with
that was the other thing I was trying to think
Angels
of.
and the
Yeah,
Mets
yeah.
playing,
Frank Cardillo,
yes.
Angels, Mets. You wanted to come to Disneyland.
Right. This
D23 Expo.
How many more incentives do you need?
This is it.
So yeah, it sounds like it's going to just be such a lot of celebration and fun, and at a great time of year too. Yeah.
So that's going to be great, and we're excited, and we're already thinking about making our plans for that.
Yeah.
So let's get to it. We don't want to take too much of this episode, but we have to get to the parks panel because, man, was that fun. And the Muppets.
Right. I was gonna say,
how great were the Muppets throughout the park panel?
I know. They were amazing. It was just so fun. And it's so exciting to see that they are, continuing that legacy of having the Muppets be a part of what the Disney company is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm so glad that they're expanding on that more and embracing the Muppets fully, it seems like, and that just warms my heart for sure. Oh, yeah. Now let's talk about a few things that we saw today. We did see some things that were already, a lot of it was kind of shown this week, a lot of stuff at the new Frozen Land at Hong Kong Disneyland, some of the stuff from Zootopia and Disneyland Paris and all the things that are coming. We saw some of that, some of the Disney Treasure as well.
Right.
Speaking of Disney Cruise Line, we did learn the name of the brand new ship, the one that they've kind of took over after it was partially constructed already, and they purchased the rights to that, and now taking it over and Disneyfying it, and so it fits in. And that name of that ship will be, Michelle?
The Disney Adventure.
Yeah, which I think is very fitting and very fun. And so that's going to be great and interesting. And I can't wait to see more and hear more about that ship as it progresses. It's going to be focused on the Asian market. Right. So if you want to go and sail on that ship, it's going to be the biggest Disney ship by far. It's going to look a little different than most of the other Disney ships, although they're trying their best to make it fit into the fleet as best as possible. But that one, I'm looking forward to hearing more about that for sure.
Yeah, that sounds like it's going to be exciting, and in some exciting ports that are going to be included as well.
Yeah. Before we get to Walt Disney World, let's talk about Disneyland and Avengers Campus. They did give us a small glimpse into what the new attraction they're planning on building there, where they've teased it a little bit. They gave us a small tease more, not a lot of information, but kind of a concept artwork for the attraction vehicle that we will be riding in for that one. So good to know they're still kind of making progress on that. Still very early, but that's good to know.
Right, yeah, it kind of looked similar to, at least for me, it reminded me of the vehicles that you have in Rise of the Resistance. Kind of that. Yeah,
I don't know. I looked a little more advanced than that, but I'm excited to find out what's going to happen.
They talked a little bit. Obviously, I think they've already announced that it's, the Avengers are uniting with us, with the guests, to save the world from Thanos.
Yes.
But they talked about how it's going to be taking a lot of the transportation experiences we've seen in the feature films. Mm-hmm. So whether you're talking about how travel is through Guardians of the Galaxy and different techniques like that.
Yeah, basically traveling through different worlds within Marvel. So it'll be fascinating to see where that goes. Okay, to Walt Disney World. First of all, Magic Kingdom, they showed us some artwork of where the Hatbox goes. Mm-hmm. This is going to be, and they explained it to all those who wonder why the Hatbox goes where it is. They explained why the Hatbox Ghost is there, but that's fun. The big news, I think, came out was that we have a little bit of an update coming to a favorite classic attraction from Frontierland there.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I was so excited. I was, when they even named the attraction, and all I could think of was, "Don't take it away! Don't take it away! Don't take it away!" And that was the Country Bear Jamboree.
Right.
So it's really exciting that they are actually going to keep the Country Bear Jamboree there. They're going to keep the characters there. They're just going to bring in some new music.
Update it a bit.
And not update it like make it now sound like pop music of today. It's just having some additional songs. And one of them, for example, that they did play the recording for us, and they actually had film of how they were recording it, was Bare Necessities. And it was superb, and it's just going to fit into that attraction so nicely.
Now, I love the Country Bear Jamboree as it is now. I know a lot of you do as well, and maybe you're sad that it's going to be changing. That's fine. But, I mean, let's be honest about this. We've been thinking for several years that at any day they could be announcing that the Country Bear Jamboree is going completely away and they're going to do something with it. So I think this is a good compromise. We can still have that same kind of humor, that fun from the Country Bear Jamboree, but bringing it in and maybe a little more modern, maybe a little more to what people will want to see. So I think that's good. It's staying around.
Right.
You know?
Well, it's like what we've said in the past with attractions that have been removed, when they start seeing that the attendance is really diminishing. And that's something we've experienced too, that it's not hard to get into Country Bear Jamboree. It's usually one of those attractions that there isn't a lot of people going there unless it's raining or super hot or something like that. So this is good that they're keeping it and making it be attractive to people who have seen the show for many, many years, and now we'll have something to look forward to.
For sure. So that's really cool, and we're excited about that. They also alluded to, and they've kind of alluded to this a little bit back at the D23 Expo last year, they didn't really focus and give us anything definitive or anything at all, really, other than that they still are thinking about that space behind Big Thunder Mountain, and that they have some ideas of what they're going to do. They just don't have anything nailed in. But the fact that they're continue to bring it up means that they're still thinking about it, and they still have some plans. They're talking about how it could be, and I know it's all hyperbole. They're saying they're comparing what's going to happen there to the reimagination of Fantasyland, and it's going to be like of that scale. So, again, nothing to it, but that's good news. You know.
They do have a team that's already assigned to, work on those concepts and get that moving forward.
Yeah,
so that's cool.
That's exciting news. Moving over to Epcot. So we heard some good things about Epcot. We know that. Well, one thing, we're going to get to visit the Journey of Water later tonight, which we're really excited about. As soon as we get done with this, we're heading over to Epcot because they've opened up Epcot for all the Destination D23 attendees. And we're going to give our run of Cosmic Rewind if we want. We're going to have our run of Test Track if we want. We're going to have our run of Journey of Water if we want. They are going to be opening up Journey of Water to the general public in October.
Right.
I know there's also some DVC and some pass holder previews coming up here that you can book as well, but it's coming up very soon. Another big announcement was that yes, the Figment meet and greet is happening, and it's happening. Well, for you tomorrow. For us, it's going to be tonight, but for everybody else, he will be there meeting guests tomorrow on September 10th. That's exciting news.
Yeah, and it was so fun seeing him come out on stage and knowing that that's going to be available for folks.
Yeah, so that's a lot of fun as well, and that's good news. Also, a big announcement came later in the day that for the 100-year anniversary of Disney, for a short amount of time, they're going to be bringing back Soaring over California to Soarin' within Walt Disney World. And of course, they've done that for many years at Disney California Adventure Park, usually during their food and wine festival. But this is going to be happening at Walt Disney World here in the near future. So we love Soaring over California. So that's exciting for us.
Right. The other thing that they did announce about Epcot was they are continuing their business relationship with Chevrolet and are going to be having updates to Test Track.
Yes, that's right. Thank you for we're spitballing. We didn't take notes.
Yeah.
We're kind of trying to remember what happened all day because there's a lot of information today. So yes, Test Track is going to be reimagined, which is exciting news because I think Test Track, I think most people will say Test Track needed to be changed again. It wasn't, it still is, there's a portion of it that's very, very exciting, but there's a lot of the ride that's like, it's not as good as it once was. And so I think that they're going to do some things, and just the quick concept artwork looked intriguing to me. It kind of reminded me that it looks like there's going to be some sort of indoor dark ride portion to it, almost like Radiator Springs Racers has, not with the, I don't know, maybe there'll be some IP there, but, not with that, but kind of that same general concept to it.
Yeah. So that was super cool to hear and see for sure.
Yeah.
And I think the other things about Epcot, we actually heard at the end of the day when they had the panel out, who's really talking about how to tie in all the neighborhoods. But I know this is just a silly little thing, but one of the things they brought out is they have really listened to people about the issue of needing space during festivals, especially to have food outdoors. And they said they know that people don't really like having to eat on top of a trash can. So they are going to have areas that during the festivals especially will be able to accommodate more people having some space.
It sounds like what they're trying to do is what they said actually is move the festival stuff more forward. So it's not all the emphasis is on World Showcase to have to take the burden of all the festival. It's going to move into this new World Celebration space, a lot of it, and that's going to help ease the load on World Showcase, for sure. The other thing they said was that we officially know that the walls will finally be down, and they say they'll be completed with virtually everything that they're doing right now anyway with Epcot in December. Yeah, so that's good news as well. The other thing, I think what was big news today was what was going on over at Animal Kingdom Park. Because there are some changes coming. I think everybody has speculated about it for a while. What's coming there? What are they going to do? Is Zootopia coming to Animal Kingdom Park? Well, in a way it kind of is, but it's going to be in a different way than maybe most people thought. A lot of people thought they were going to change Dino Land into Zootopia Land, and some people were happy about that, others not so much. Well, that's not going to be the case. Instead, they are going to move a Zootopia themed attraction inside of the Tree of Life. So if you think of where It's a Tough to Be a Bug is right now, it seems like there's going to be some new sort of show that's going to go on in the Tree of Life.
Change the area that now has the emphasis on dinosaurs.
Yes. So they said they wanted to tie this all into, we already have Africa and we have Asia within the Animal Kingdom Park. So what other area is kind of famous for its flora, its fauna, its animals and everything? And they said that they pinpointed kind of that area that is up in around, I say the upper half of South America and into Central America. And what did they say plays right into that area? Well, that would be...
We don't talk about Bruno.
Encanto. Yeah, so there's going to be an Encanto area there. And I think that fits. It's Colombia, and the animals, I mean, it just fits. To me personally, I know there's not a lot of, some people will say Encanto doesn't fit. I think it fits because, one, South America needs a better presence within. I've been saying it should be in World Showcase, that there should be a Brazil or a Colombia or whatever within World Showcase. But I like that, it seems like that makes sense to fit that area of the world into the Animal Kingdom Park as well.
Right. I mean, and if you think of Animal Kingdom, one, you have the animals, but you also have the plants and the flora and things like that. And Encanto definitely embraces that as well. And like Tom said, having South America being a part of that, and that's kind of the area of the world that they were saying really would fit into Animal Kingdom Park.
Right. So that was great news. But then they happened to pan over and say, what else fits in that kind of vicinity?
Dun, 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 dun.
That's right. And you know what? It makes so much sense because it's an easy transition. You already have Dinosaur there. That is a similar attraction to the Indiana Jones adventure within Disneyland. It makes so much sense to just transition that attraction into another version of that. And I think that's fantastic.
Right. And then just having other things around to support it that go with that theme, and, and the theme of adventure. And that's also very much a part of the culture inside of Animal Kingdom Park. And I think these kind of additions will also make Animal Kingdom Park more attractive to people who feel it's only like an exotic zoo or glorified zoo, that there's going to be other attractions to attract more people to Animal Kingdom.
Yeah. Hopefully turn it into, I know a lot of people love the park.
Right.
I love the park for what it is, but it is kind of a half-day park. To me personally, that's just the way I feel. If you love it for full days, I'm happy for you.
Right.
For me personally, I get there, I go see the animals, I walk around to check it out. We go hit Nomad Lounge, and then we're good, because we're not huge on a lot of the attractions that are there. You add in more of these things we love.
Pandora's great.
Yeah, Pandora is wonderful.
Right.
I'm not at the age anymore where I like to get on the roller coasters anymore. So Expedition Everest, I only do it every once in a while anymore. So, but it's great, but it's just not my thing as much anymore. So it hasn't been the biggest park for us. Adding these more fantastic lands that we love, I think it's personally for us. And again, we only speak for us.
Right.
We will always say that. You love what you love. We love what we love.
And we appreciate that.
We appreciate what's going to happen here, and we like what this sounds like is going to move forward with.
Right. Now, another change, I guess it kind of involves Animal Kingdom Park, is that Moana is actually going to be relocated over to Epcot to be a part, since that area that is going to be opening up is really focusing on the theming of...
Right. They didn't say specifically that she's going to be leaving Animal Kingdom Park, but I have to imagine that is what's going to happen, that she will be moving over to the Journey of Water where she fits and makes sense. And that would be great.
They didn't say it. They did actually pretty relatively new that she has that photo op meet and greet location there. But it would seem like maybe they come up with something else. So I don't know.
So I'm sure we didn't get to everything there. I apologize if we missed your favorite piece of news that came out today or whatever, but we just wanted to come on and recap about our day. It's been a fantastic day. Highly recommend you look into Destination D23 in the future. I don't even talk about magazines. We got a Figment figure, like huge statue figurine, and then they had some other giveaways that were just more for 100 people got this, 60 people got this or whatever. Unfortunately, we didn't get any of those things, but still very, very cool. It's been a great event so far. Look into it for 2025 probably is when the next one will be, because it's been a blast already, and we can't wait to talk about what happens tomorrow. So thanks for joining us. We're going to call it right here. We have to get to Epcot. Please forgive us, but we hope you enjoyed us. If you want to find us, of course, the best place to find our show is on our own website, HyperionAdventuresPodcast.com. Also, we're on social media. We're on Twitter. Yes, Twitter. At Hyperion Adventures Podcast. Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Hyperion Adventures Podcast. If you are on Facebook, join us for some good, positive Disney energy fun on our Hyperion Adventures Facebook group. Also, we're on YouTube. If you want to find us there, we're at Hyperion Adventures Podcast. And it's been a long day. And if you ever want to contact us for any reason, please hit us up at our Gmail account, HyperionAdventuresPodcast@gmail.com.
And a great big thank you for listening to us, and we sure would appreciate it if you tell a friend about our podcast.
Yes, very much so. And thanks for listening to this very special, short, and bonus edition of the Hyperion Adventures Podcast. We look forward to sharing some time with you, probably tomorrow. Until that time, I'm Tom.
I'm Michelle.
And we hope that you have a magical day.